It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey everybody, what's happening? It's showtime. It's your man, it's your boy, not your boy, because some of y'all, I don't want to say that. It's your brother, your man right here, because I might say boy, some of y'all, some of you colonizers, some of you, yes, dark-spirited folks may slip up. Wrong person may say boy, it could be a problem. Anyway, I'm back. I'm here. All right, we through the weekend. I hope you had a great white Juneteenth weekend, the Geno Jones Show. Let me give you a heads up. So we are going to be changing our start time, 7:30 now. Initially, we started coming on at 6:30, like almost 6 years ago. It'll be 6 years in October, right? So there's going to be a new start time probably in a week or two, 7 p.m. Eastern time. But right now, for the rest of this week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, no live show on Friday. We'll talk about that later. But 7:30 p.m. But pretty soon, a new start time coming in, in about 2 weeks. 2 weeks or less. It'll be 7 p.m. All right. So right now, 6:30 Chicago, everybody on Central Time. 4:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and everybody on the West Coast. You like, share, and subscribe. Tell everybody to like, share, and subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody got a chance to check out my last episodes. Matter of fact, my man, he is part of the Geno Jones Show family. He is a contributor. Let's put it that way. He is a contributor. Some days he'll be a co-host. My man, Vinny B., who is broadcasting live from the Essence Festival. He's coming back. So he's going to give you, like, all the, as they say, the tea, the dirt. You don't need Tasha K because I got Vinny B right here. You're going to get all the lowdown, the real deal, the uncut funk, the bomb. Since he got a chance to hang out with George Clinton, he'll tell you the story about, it's the old school, the bop gun. George Clinton Parliament and Funkadelic had the bop gun. Well, Vinny actually got to hold the bop gun. I don't know if he shot anybody with it. I'm going to ask him. We'll ask him when he comes on camera. So over the weekend, we're going to we're going to do the whole thing on Essence Festival. I just want to say the enemy is busy. So we know Satan was busy at work, but the ancestors in Mother Nature said, not so fast, Orange Hitler. Yes, he is ruined. Orange Hitler, a.k.a. Donald J., the J stands for Jackass Trump, has done everything in his power to ruin America's 250th birthday celebration. Now, for those of us with African ancestry, it was not a celebration. Hence the term White Juneteenth, the 4th of July, a.k.a. White Juneteenth. Our independence was Juneteenth Day, June 19th, 1865. Because July 4th, 1776, black people were not free. Black people were legally considered black men. They didn't even acknowledge black women. Africans were 3/5 human in the original Constitution. So back in July 1776, our ancestors didn't have any damn freedom. Now, George Washington had like 123 slaves, and he was so low down and dirty, when his teeth fell out of his mouth, he replaced his own teeth with the teeth of some of his enslaved ancestors. Now, how nasty is that you would take somebody else's tooth and put it in your mouth? That is nasty. But that is consistent with the colonizers. All right, I digress. So Orange Hitler, he did everything to ruin, y'all's birthday celebration for the wannabe Europeans and those who celebrated America, Stu 50. But Mother Nature and their ancestors said, not so fast in D.C. The skies opened up. It was like God was rained with tears. It was like, no, you are lying. The truth ain't in you. You're low down, dirty, like a Boz Scaggs song from way back in the day. Dirty, 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 low down. You were dirty, low down. And good things, what is it? I'm paraphrasing the line in Color Purple. What did Oprah told her? Harpo, Danny Glover, lift him up in prayer. He recently publicly acknowledged he is dealing with Alzheimer's. Danny Glover, my man, played that character, Mr. And I'm paraphrasing Oprah's character's famous quote: "As long as you do me, until you do right by me, ain't no good gonna happen to you." It was like Mother Nature and the Creator said, until you stop with this bigotry and hatred and racism and misogyny and all of it, ain't nothing good gonna happen to you. So we are rained on that America's 250 little thing they did in D.C. around the White House. As a matter of fact, it was storms and it was lightning. So you could tell God was angry. It wasn't just rain. It was like severe storms and lightning. So much to where the MAGA cult that was down there celebrating had to take cover in, of all places, the new Smithsonian African American History Museum. Now, y'all hate black people so bad, but your little coward punk ass, when God spoke and that lightning hit, and that rain came and the storms came, y'all ran y'all racist ass right into the African American History Museum. That may be the only time you've seen the truth about history in your life. God don't like ugly, as my grandmother used to say. She said he ain't too crazy about pretty either. So I just thought and then you had over 400 cowards, white nationalists, this organization, this cowardly organization, the Patriot Front. So they had the nerve to march through Washington, D.C., and then some other areas surrounding D.C. areas. As a matter of fact, there's this picture or video you've probably seen on the D.C. Metro train. Like in Chicago, we got the subway and the L. You got the red line and the green line. You got rapid transit in Atlanta and, of course, Chicago, New York. Anyway, so D.C. has their metro line, public transportation, all right? So there's a picture, video of all these white nationalists, literally full, sitting on this one car of this metro train, and it was one black woman. She looked like she was in her 20s, and she was just sitting there like, I know I ain't sitting with all these racist ass Ku Klux Klan, cowardly ass. But she just had that look like, man, just leave, don't say nothing to me. And she had that look like, I'm not looking for trouble, but what y'all not gonna do? She just had that look like she was, in her mind was like, okay, if I'm gonna have to fight and whip somebody's ass, then I'm ready. You could tell she was her mind, the expression on her face was like, all right, what y'all not gonna do? And good thing they didn't bother her, cowards, because she just had that look like, no, y'all really don't want to do this. And she was the only black person on that one particular car, full of white nationalists. So just ironic. And your boy Owen Chillick just couldn't leave the World Cup alone. I'm going to talk about that later in the week because it's so interesting. Because all of these quote unquote white nations, France and Belgium and Sweden and all these European countries, like France's team was all black. Now, France is about, probably 85 to 90% Africans, those of African descent, probably make up, I don't even think they make up 15% of the population of France. But if you look at their soccer, or as they call it, football team is virtually, I think they may have, out of like 24, 25, they may have one or two white dudes on the team. Now, the coach is white, old white dude, French dude. So we're going to talk about the original colonizers and then the nations that they colonized, because it's just a real interesting dichotomy. All the anti-blackness, but when it comes to kicking up football or the gladiator type deal, as long as we playing sports or fighting each other, then y'all love black folks. You love Africans, those of us of African descent. But once we get off the field or the court or whatever, then y'all hate us. But we ain't, we don't really give a shit about you either. Feeling is mutual. So I just had to call out that irony. So Owen Chillick called the president FIFA is the organization that puts on the World Cup. Now, the president is already publicly, he's been kissing Trump's ass. He gave him this little fake ass trophy. Now, they had a player, and the interesting thing, so this brother named Folarin Balogun. Folarin, I believe it's Folarin. Folarin, I think it's because it's old. Folarin Balogun. Now, his mom, he was born in 2001. His mother she's from Nigeria. She was pregnant. And she had the baby. She had him here, and she had him in New York City. Now, this is the same regime. Orange Hill is talking about, well, anchor babies and birthing vacations, and people come to America just to have a baby in America because of course, we've got the 14th Amendment that says if you're born in America, you're an American citizen, full stop, period. But it's like, no, we got to stop that because that is diluting our bloodline, and people are just intentionally coming from all these shithole countries, and they come and have babies so their babies can become American citizens. Well, now here's a they called them all kind of terms, anchor babies. So here's a young man who you say you want to kick out the country, but you want him to play in this soccer game against Belgium tonight. The hypocrisy is amazing. So I digress. Now, if you got a chance to go to Essence Festival, it was incredible. I saw video, I saw pictures, and if you didn't, so I got a recap. So I'm not going to waste any more time. You got to meet him last week along with his co-correspondent, contributor, actually his aunt, and she's not with him. I think she's on a plane. But ladies and gentlemen, you'll be seeing a lot of this young man. There he is. There's the handsome stud there. My guy right there, the official correspondent, a real journalist right there, very versatile, knowledge, can talk about everything, anything. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome Vinny B to the show. Vinny B,
What's
man.
Up, Geno? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Hey, listen,
Good.
Thanks again. So, thank you for tolerating. I just had to kind of, and I didn't want to necessarily start with bad news, but I just had to kind of point out some of the craziness. It was White Juneteenth weekend. So hopefully you had a good White Juneteenth weekend. Well, see, you were down at the Essence Festival, so that was still basking in the glow of the original Juneteenth.
Okay.
Which recognizes our freedom and liberation, because none of our ancestors were free during July 4th, 1776. Our ancestors were enslaved.
Right.
So what did Frederick Douglass say? I can paraphrase. And what is it?
Brain's not there.
In essence, he was like, why should black folks celebrate the 4th of July when we weren't free? I just kind of remixed it and edited the title. But he wrote this famous paper, what is the 4th of July to the Negro? So let's talk about the Essence Festival, man. So last time we saw you on camera, it was Thursday. So they were getting ready for the official opening night Friday. Thursday was like all the media got down there. So he looks good, y'all, but he hadn't much because he's been partying with Cardi B and George Clinton and kicking it with Michelle Obama and Brandy and Monica. So I'm just going to let you kind of go ahead and just give us some stories from this year's Essence Festival. And we got a conversation. I'm going to show that a little later, but give us the tea. Give us the scuttlebutt.
Overall, it was a fantastic event. It always is. It's the culture. It's the cookout. It's the community. It's everything, talking about unity for us. And the common theme around was we love us. But, it's all running together. We say that a lot. So I got there Wednesday night about 8:00, and we got prepared. We went Thursday to the easy stuff, the simple stuff, the subdued stuff. It still has the same relevance, but it was like, yeah, this is chill. So, the producer, my auntie, she was like, yeah, this is going to be great. I'm like, I've been there a lot. You're going to think it's great. You're going to be tired. Now, who's been to Disney World? That's a tired. I go to the National Association of Black Journalists Convention, 4,500 Black journalists strong, for a week. That's tiring. And I always say, there's no tire like a Disney tire. Man, I don't know. All of a sudden I remember, and I know people are like, what's wrong with it? I'm like, it's like I'm half asleep, but there is no tire like an Essence Festival tire. And I know we're starting on the front day, but let's go to the back day.
Okay.
Okay. Let's like, hey, I talked to you before it kicked off. I'm gonna jump in this moment to it being over on Sunday. So we had the shows. I forget the lineup. I could look on the phone and get it. But
Well, did you
uh,
see? I think George Clinton was a headliner. So they did
yeah.
a tribute to
Well,
Aaliyah. And did you see Public Enemy?
yeah, we saw them all. And technically, George Clinton was first. You hear the word headliner, usually that's the one that waits, but T.I. was technically the headliner with the
Okay.
live orchestra. So I'm going to pull up the sheet, and I think you might have it faster because
Yeah, I
I have
do. So you
so,
had George Clinton, Dougie
yeah, I have
Fresh
so
and
many
Friends,
pictures.
Public
Yeah, I have
Enemy.
so many pictures. It's out of order. I can't
Right.
see where it
They
was.
did the tribute, Aaliyah tribute with Missy, and I know
Yes.
with some other folks, and then
Uh,
Ti with this live orchestra. So what was that? You can tell me about that later.
Scarface. Yeah, that was fine. But anyway, let's talk about the tire part because I think that'll cover me for now because I may look a little tired to the people watching the
You
show,
don't look
but
tired, so you good.
ooh, I feel it. So we started at 7 o'clock, and I really wanted to find it. Gino, if you can get to it faster, chime in. But 7 o'clock, we got the run of show, and it was George Clinton, and then it went a couple of hours. Then it went to the next person, so on and so forth. So I can tell you, we left the convention with the free stuff, the family stuff. 7 o'clock, we got to the dome where the show begins. We did not leave until after Ti. Now Ti took the stage. The regularly scheduled time was 12:05. I believe he got off stage at 1:15. And we had talked maybe all week is like, yeah, we'll figure out the game plan when we get there. Well, Saturday rolled around, is like, yeah, we might not stay for the whole show. We'll get a couple songs from each person. Then we're gonna go back to the hotel room, sleep and be a responsible adult. Now, I've done this a bunch of times. Bernadine, the producer, auntie, if you will, she's like, I really just want to see T.I. I was like, okay. We became friends with Uber drivers. Like, look, can you be here? As soon as we leave, we can't wait for 60,000, 80,000 people come out. We need to get out. So I text her. I think maybe a good 45 minutes before we know the media understands the time of cutoff. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm on the front row. Don't tell her I did that, y'all. But I'm on the front row, boy. Nephew, shut up. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm gonna be good. Hey, auntie, you ready to go? She's like, no, I'm off to the side. One of the people let me see T.I. Like, okay, you want me to order Uber so we can go? Because I have to be on the plane to leave at 5 a.m. Man, we ended up staying for the whole show. We left. This was a post on my social media at Vincent Blandon TV. We get to the arena 6:30. The first show 7 o'clock. We get off the stage with Ti 1:15. I make it to the hotel at 2:47 p.m. My wake up call was already set for 3:30 a.m. with the driver. The driver grabs me from the hotel. We get to the airport at 4. I think it's like 4:03, something like that. You might say, why are you being specific with the time? Because at that point in time, I was counting the minutes for my precious sleep. So anyway, we get through TSA. Man, I got some pictures I intended to post it. It was too many. Tons of people. Everybody in their white linen, 4 o'clock in the morning at the airport. I thought I was going to be the only idiot going
Wow.
straight from the stage to the airport.
Wow.
No, everybody. You had young folks, old folks. I saw maybe a couple teenagers. Because in the arena there were some young people, but it was a fantastic time overall. So that's the sheer tiredness of it
All
all.
right, so let's go back because since you started
Okay.
this Sunday, all right, so talk about George Clinton's performance, and because apparently, so you stuck around for most of the
Yeah,
shows. Okay,
man.
so talk about George Clinton and tell us the story about the Bop Gun, and then
Okay.
finish up with Ti and his live orchestra.
Yeah, so I'll just go down the list. So George Clinton came out, so give some perspective. Imagine any arena that you go at, any club, any theater. If you have a stage, the public is looking at the stage. So we're part of the public, but we obviously have access to go around the stage, under the stage. Well, for us, we go under the stage to our working room. So, if you get too much, because when you're working, you're too close to the music, you're on the front row, you're in the side pen area. I was like, all right, I'm tired. I need to wind down. I'm flying. I don't need to have my sensory levels gone. Okay, so I leave. I go under the stage. I sit in the room a little bit. I think I even had some of those cookies, Milano cookies, and cranberry juice. I was just like, let me wind down. I don't need to be amped up. So fine, we go back out. They're good. Man, it was phenomenal. And I talked to Auntie. She even joked. She's like, these people have 6-piece bands, 5-piece bands. She's like, George Clinton got about 25 people. And
Well,
literally,
that's Parliament Funkadelic. It always has been.
but that's the thing now. I know this is weird, but from my perspective, my livelihood, I remember growing up, we are the world. You know how that crowd was on the stage? For me, that's the biggest thing with the crowd on the stage. To me,
So
last
you
night,
never got to see the original Mothership land.
right.
Okay, so on
That
that, let me pause you because George said before the Essence Festival that he had a new
mhm,
mothership that was going to land at the Essence Festival. So did it
yes.
land? Did you see it? And tell us
It
about it.
landed visually and that's what I'm saying. It was like, imagine if you're at the Superdome and people coming out all because the show is over. You see a crowd coming.
Right.
To me, that's what it looked like on the stage. I was like, and it was everybody, and then Duran was there, Big Boy was there, Scarface, everybody who was a name, and
Oh,
just
that's
went
right. I
backstage.
heard about. Yes, I heard he did that.
Everybody. So anyhow, so that was phenomenal. So fine, I think George performed for probably an hour 10 minutes. Each person had about an hour 10 to perform, which is fantastic. So at the end, I think there might have been a 5 minute break with screens. The show never stops. So I'm like, la 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 la. I cut through one way, and I see the bop gun. And I was like, ooh, because normally when I walk, I get to see the artists go by, they get on the cart. They don't really stop at that point because they're working, they're sweaty. And I was like, ooh, the bop gun must be there. So maybe the golf cart is under the stage, pulled over. Maybe he's getting water, wiping sweat. I don't know. So I walk on down. I'm like, well, if nobody's going to push me away, they've been seeing me all week. They see my badge. And the lady's like, hey, I was like, hey, is that the thing with George Clinton? Because mind you, I was yesterday years old before I really realized the name of the thing. So she was like, yeah, he's gone already. I was like, oh, is that his thing? She's like, the bop gun. I said, what? You don't know the bop gun. And this is a white lady, which I'm so impressed. She's like, oh, how you not gonna know the bop gun? So
Yeah.
we
How
walked.
you not going? How's the colonizer gonna know more about your culture than you? What's wrong with you, V?
Look, I just said it was an air gun, a prop. Who knows? Devil's in the details. Who knows? So anyhow, we sit there and talk, and she is so cool. And her name is Brittany. I think it's White uh, Washurst or something like that. She's on my phone, and I was like, "Oh, can I take a picture? Because I know you can't touch that thing. We're not even supposed to be all up under this when the show is going. We can trip a cable, pull a plug, and the show is over." She's like, "No, here, hold it." I say, "Hold it? You want me? Is it heavy?" She's like, "No." So I'm like, ooh, take a picture. She's like, "Yeah, take a picture." So I did it with my cell. It's like, I don't take pictures. I just travel with it. I was like, "You travel?" She's like, "Yeah, I made that." So
Oh
it's a
wow.
bop gun. I said, "Okay, give it here." So we took pictures like, different stuff.
So did you
And
shoot
then,
anybody with the Bob gun, V?
yeah, I was like, "Does it shoot something for real?" But I'm looking at it. You should never look down the barrel of a gun, especially as a U.S. Marine. But I'm like fascinated. So she was like, cool. And I was like, well, I'll give it. She's like, I made that. He travels with it. And she's like, okay. I said, well, let me do the video because people are going to swear that's AI. So I really just got it. And I was like this. And it was fun. But it was really beautiful. It lights up and it was wild to me. So,
Wow.
so that's it. No, after that, the
Is it
public
a
came.
big gun? How big was it?
It's a big gun. I think. Are you able to pull the picture up or the video
No,
up
but
at
I
this
know what
point?
the original one looks like, so I was just
Yeah,
wondering. It looks
yeah.
like the
It was.
original one. Okay.
Yeah, it was the original because she made it. But so it was fantastic. Then we went all down. You had Dougie Fresh, and he had I think Big Boy, Scarface, Too Short. So many names I can't
Nice.
remember. I have to go through my picture.
Nice.
They all came on stage, and it was like an ongoing concert. Now, mind you, imagine one concert starting at 7 p.m. and ending at 1:20.
That's a long ass
That's
time.
basically what it was. Some people complain, oh, it's why is this going to midnight? People are going to complain about something because had they not, and it stopped at 9:30, 10 o'clock, we paid these $150 tickets or whatever, whatever the prices are. We need more people. So I'm always like, I heard some of the flack and I was like, well, You can leave when you want to leave. This is for everyone. Why is George Clinton first? I don't know. Didn't
Because
ask
he's
him, but
80 years old and his ass got to go to bed. That's why.
I infer that because Ti was at the end, and there were so many people. Tevin Campbell and I were standing next together. Big Boy was in there. D1, a rapper, was there. Trying to think of all the people who
Hey,
were
did you
standing
see
next to
Public
me.
Enemy? Because
Yeah,
they're my favorite. Okay.
Flavor Flav, he was there too, and I really wanted the picture with Flavor Flav. I saw him taking pictures, and there was a moment where I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about the
Did you?
photo. I'm
Hey,
gonna,
Vinny, let me ask. Did you see them perform "Fight the Power"? That's my joint.
yes. And I put some of that on my social media
I
at
love it.
Benson Blend and TVE.
Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. The sucker was racist. I'm paraphrasing the line. Straight up
Right,
racist.
right.
The sucker was simple and plain. Motherfuck him and John Wayne.
Exactly. And it was really on, and it went on and on and on. And the fascinating part, they even did an Aaliyah tribute. I
Yeah.
think it was beautifully done. I've heard some mixed bag comments, even just from my travels, because people like Vinny, you were there. What was it really like? And I said, well, I didn't get that impression. I was at the stage. I heard, different things, some negative comments and some positive comments. But for me, some
Missy,
people
I
asked
know
me,
Missy and Chloe from Chloe and Halle. They were two of the women that did a tribute. I know I'm leaving some out, but I know
yeah,
Missy kind of
yeah,
led
I
it.
get all that stuff on
Hmm.
there. It's so much overload for it, but and it was fascinating. But for me personally, and I said it in a way, and I'm going to change now because I don't want to be disrespectful to her family, or even her fans. But for me, I think it worked. It did what it needed to do
Yeah.
for the masses. But for me, I'm like, she's dead. To me, it was like, oh, that was nice. It was like I was listening to her music in an arena on a record player or a CD. To watch it to be 100 feet from the stage, maybe whatever that was. Okay,
But it was a
gotcha.
tribute. So obviously you're going to hear the
Yeah,
music because it was a
it
tribute
was
to
a
her.
tribute,
And I'm
but
glad they
and I
did that.
think for me, and this is no, because God knows it took talent. They worked hard. I'm not knocking it, but for me, I was like, I didn't need to see a person dressed as Aaliyah. It was like a recreation of everything the
Well, you didn't
videos.
see it. That's which did you say that? Because I know I saw Chloe and Halle that had one outfit, like a black outfit that I saw Aaliyah in. And
Hmm.
somebody else, and I can't think because I saw it on social media.
Yeah,
There was oh God, who was it? I don't want to say
yeah.
the wrong
Street.
person, but it was
Go
somebody
ahead. I'm gonna
it
pull up
was
the
one of the
chat.
new R&B female stars. She
Yeah,
had the Aaliyah outfit from that One in a Million album with the
yes, she
Timberland
was
boots on
phenomenal.
and the oversized like Carl Kanai little jean outfit back in the day. So she was dressed just like Aaliyah,
Yeah,
because I saw pictures with Aaliyah with that gear on, with the with the Timberland boots and the baggy jeans and the whole big look like Carl Kanai outfits. Uh,
right.
Google Carl Kanai, everybody, because back in the '90s, there's a black designer brother named Carl
Yeah,
Kanai, and he had the bag of whole everything. Because I had the Carl Kanai, the baggy jeans, a blue jeans shirt with his name plate on there, and everything was
yeah.
like that baggy cut look, full kind of oversized look.
Yep. So here's the sheet, and it's out of order now because brain is out of order. But Sunday, Ti with the live orchestra, Aaliyah, One in a Million Forever tribute curated by Missy Elliott, Public Enemy, Dougie Fresh, and Friends. He brought out a lot of friends. George Clinton and the Parliament of Funkadelic with special guests. He brought out a lot of special guests. Duran Bernard, Nona Hendrix, Big Frida, Big Boy, Scarface, Savion Glenn. I didn't even, wow, I'm just realizing that was Savion going past us, but I didn't at the time. Trombone Shorty was there. Kim Burrell was there. I talked to Kim Burrell. So
Kim
it was
Burrell out on stage with George Clinton.
she was on stage and she also walked out.
That's funny.
She was cool, but it was really good.
Was
So
she
the
praying
only,
for all the sinners? She's like, I know this,
yeah,
right?
and
This
she
sinner
talked
ass
about it.
music. Lord, please forgive him for the lyrics you about to hear.
And I need to pull it up if I can in time on my phone, because they talked about that. They're like, so what? She's like, there's a place for God everywhere. My word is to sing and praise God. If God moves the spirit and gives me the words and it goes out and touches the people, that's what it was supposed to do. But I'm not going to sing something that I don't think moves people. And if the spirit. She was talking. I get it. I'm a believer,
I ain't
and I
mad at you,
understand.
Kim. That's all good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was phenomenal. But yeah, just for me, after maybe that's the better way to say. After a while, I was like, okay, I don't need to see a Aaliyah lookalike. Let's just play music and go. But I get it; it's a tribute, so
Well, I don't
it
think
did
they was
its
so much
job.
a lookalike. The gear was part of the tribute. They were like
Yeah,
representing, what she was wearing during that time. Like I said,
right.
definitely the whole Timberland boots, the baggy
Yeah.
jeans, and the baggy shirt, denim shirt,
And
and the
that's
whole.
what I mean by perspective. That's exactly what it was supposed to be. I don't want Missy's people to come for me, but that's no. I mean seriously,
They
because
ain't gonna do nothing to you. I ain't gonna
everyone
let them
has
do
an
nothing to you.
opinion.
It's like y'all
Yeah,
chilling.
everyone has an opinion. I appreciate the craft. I appreciate the art, but for me, I was like, okay, I'd rather just go to commission. Lord help me, go to intermission, put on her face, and play her music for 45 minutes. That would have been a tribute for me. But for me personally, it was like,
Man, you
oh,
give you telling on your age, man. They gonna say this. He old school. He don't know what's happening. And the
well,
funny
Uncle
thing,
Dad.
wait a minute, this was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
you were
And
you were a much younger man. We both were 30 years ago. So
I was 14.
okay.
No, whatever. I couldn't even do the math. I told you it was off. But it was fantastic. It was beautifully done. But for me, it's like some people like chocolate cake. Some people
Right.
like
All right. So
red.
listen. Let's. I want to fast forward. So
Yes,
give us briefly this orchestra. What the Ti and an orchestra? I ain't mad at him, but what was that like?
that was phenomenal. I was like, yeah, I can see some of the songs working now. Where the media space was under the stage and over, all the talent had to go past us on the cart to get to that area before they dry off and then come in the room. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna wait. And I saw this white boy. I can't. This is so funny. What was the Rod Roddy from The Price is Right? I think Rod is dead now. But remember how he used to wear the flamboyant suits and the sequins and things? Come on down.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
saw,
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw a white guy coming down like the hall, and I was like, I hadn't seen him in all 4 days of being here, and I'm in the area where the VIPs and so he's not a worker. He's got to be with that orchestra. I don't know. Maybe it's my common sense that kicked in. I'm like, he's got to be with the orchestra that's going to be coming with Ti. And he was walking because we're all just chilling, walking. If you're in the room, you need to be there. So you're like, oh, okay, he must be someone. But it came out, and I was joking because we just do what we do. Black people, we love us. We love ourselves. And I remember I was like, look at this dadgum orchestra. Ain't one brother in it, ain't one sister. These are all white people. I'm
Wow.
not knocking the
That was
orchestra.
my next question.
But you know what? You ain't gonna disrespect musicians. They are wonderful people. I played my saxophone is over there. I played the piano. I don't have a piano in the house. I got a keyboard. But it was beautifully done. They were fantastic, but it was funny. And he's walking around da 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 and singing the songs. I was like, that's totally fine. And they're like, he gonna sing Checker Flag. And I know this because that was the moment I was like, hey, Auntie, can we go home? I'm gonna go. She's like, no, man, he got to let him know. I was like, he can't do let him know with the orchestra because thing, dong, dong, dong. And I was like, maybe you got the bass, maybe you get a bassoon, maybe you get a tuba. Okay, you can probably get a French horn. Okay, so I left the front row and the side stage. I went to the room. Literally, I packed up all the extension cords, put them in the bag. I got her stuff packed. I packed up all her stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna sit here and watch the last 30 minutes in the room. I'm not going back out. I've seen Ti enough. We were up close. I text her 30 minutes before the show ends. Hey, shouldn't we? Did you order Uber? She's like, what time you want to leave? What do you mean by early? I said, we're already past that point. So we get there. They open the gate. Dun, boom, boom, boom. So I said, oh man, they are playing it. Let me run out. I go all now, it would probably take us a good 5 minutes running to go from the room under the stage through the backstage security to get back to the crowd in the front. And I was like, duh. And he was good. And T.I. did wonderful. And I was like, wow, they arranged it. It was so beautifully done, but no black people in it. When the conductor came through, because I thought he was going to conduct, because I was like, why the hell did Essence get him? But it was a conductor, and the conductor was on point. Just so happens, because the cards come past the door with the media, I'm just chilling. And I was like, all these white people, the orchestra must be coming. So I stand there, and they did stop a little bit. I'm like, hey, man, what was that like? And I wasn't interviewing him with the microphone. Just, bro, what was that like? He's like, that was cool. I was like, I ain't see one damn brother or sister in there. Oh, like, he's like, I know. That was it. But I said, you did it. He's like, it was fun. And then all the white people come on carts. And I was like, that had to be the experience for them, but it sounded so great. And it was good. And see, I looked good. I liked the suit. I got the picture of him. It was like, they did that. They can take that on the road.
And you
That was
got a
awesome.
lot of pictures. You got a lot of pictures. You're gonna let everybody know about where they can follow you on Substack and other social media platforms.
Yeah. So I would really encourage you guys because I started my Substack on the day of Essence. And I should have done it before, so I didn't have a lot of followers. But I started the day of Essence and started putting. I did 4 articles. Check it out with some pictures at Benton Blandon TV. That's my name, obviously TV journalist. But V as in Victor, EN, T as in Tango, ON, B as in Bravo, LAND as in Delta, IN, TV at Benton Blandon TV. That's me on Twitter, Instagram. I think my Facebook reports. I have 2 of them. All the things, the threads, all whatever out there. That's usually what I do. I've posted some. I posted the live interviews with Patti LaBelle, Tisha Campbell, Dr. King, and Dr. Shabazz. All that's there, but pictures are coming soon. That's all.
Which is where I want to close the show.
Okay.
You talked about having a conversation with Bernice King and
Ilyasa.
Ilyasa
Yes.
Shabazz, the daughter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. It was a great conversation. So thank you. You sent me some video. I want to share this with my viewers. And then out of the video, you can wrap up and just talk about what the experience was like. So, okay, here we go. Here's the conversation my man Vinny B had with Bernice King and Ilyasa Shabazz, the daughters of Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
Okay, so doctors, thank you so much. We have one question. I want to start. Thank you for being here. But I saw your post this morning talking about you were so excited to be here with Dr. Shabazz. So talk about the panel. I've been here, but what did you project out to the folks here gathered for the culture?
I think right now it's a time of oneness. It's a time of unity. It's a time of connection and understanding. I mean, so often we can pull apart different things. We can either or this and that. And we were saying, no, it's both and. It's all of the above. We have such rich history and so many people who have contributed to the culture and who we are. And that's what makes us powerful as a people. And not only that, we have a lot of strength and endurance and resilience. And so I wanted people to see our father was assassinated. Our fathers were assassinated. And we're here. We're not stopping. We're not bowing down. We're not kowtowing. We are standing with our heads high, with dignity and strength and love and faith and a sense of understanding the power of community. And we're forging forth ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right, I get one question, so you just follow up with that.
That's just follow up.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I want you to say something.
Oh gosh,
What's it like to have your sister here?
Yeah. Well, it's just so important to recognize the divisive strategies. Mm-hmm. The power in our togetherness. There was this, a choice. You choose between Booker T. Washington and Booker T. Washington and W.B. Du Bois. You choose between Tupac and Biggie Smalls. You choose between Malcolm and Dr. King. When the fact is, they were brothers. And so it is a divisive tactic. Mm-hmm. And there is such power when we come together to address the atrocities that are still occurring around the world. And the only way we're going to accomplish that is by coming together.
Thank you. That's it. Can I get a photo?
Yeah.
All right, man. Great job. So, kind of put a bow on that, man. What was that like? What was that experience like? And I'm sure there was maybe a few other things that we didn't get on camera. Was there anything else?
Yeah.
Any other messages they shared?
Yeah, pretty much you guys heard it there. But I had interviewed Dr. Bernice King, I think probably somewhere between my lifetime, 2014 and 2017 in Birmingham, Alabama, and also her brother, one of her brothers, I should say. But the message was consistent. In that room, I didn't really know she was coming in the room, so I had to think. Now I actually follow her, so I have to scroll like, ooh, what's she talking about today? I don't know, what can I talk to this woman about? And I just happened to see she was talking about surviving and suffrage and unity. So that's why I opened it up. But the message was consistent. Think about it, there are clubs that you're in. Some children are in a club with no parents or orphans. Some kids are in a presidential club. They have a club. Their fathers were assassinated. So they stand. Nobody wants to be in a club like that, but they said it's better to be together. And it just hit me again hearing it. They're always want to divide this or that, either or. But she say we are here for both, and I forget the words particularly, but they just stood together. They just said, hey, we're not giving up. Our dads are gone, but we're going to keep this fight going strong. And we need to figure out more about what unites us and less about what divides us, because it's a lot of stuff out there dividing us right now. So they want to stay focused.
Vinny B, great job, man.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Go take your nap.
yeah. I think 3 hours of sleep. All right. All right, thank you.
Thank you, brother. Great job. You'll be seeing a lot of Vinny B more right here on the Geno Jones Show. Let me just lean over here and do something real quick. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. The show is interactive, yes. And I didn't get a chance to get all your questions. Shout out to Grind Minds Entertainment. Shout out to you, of course, Mary Dixon, 334. That's mine. Executive producer, actually my mom. So, hey, everybody, thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. 7:30 p.m. Eastern is when we start, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Let me give you a programming note. We will have a new start time in a couple weeks, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. So, but for this week, 7:30. Also, programming note: no live show this Friday. So, but we'll be live Tuesday, live Wednesday, live Thursday, 7:30. But coming in a couple weeks, new start time, 7 p.m. Spread the word. We'll see you there. Shout out to Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check her and her Lexi Jones collection out on Instagram, IGLX.NCL_LX.NCL_. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. That's right. He works that magic, everybody. So check him out on Instagram or IG. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts. KELBECUTTINUP. Kelby Cutting Up. I love you. Real love is a verb. It is an action word. Show somebody you love them. We'll see you live, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast on Tuesday, Wednesday. No live show on Tuesday. I'll tell you why on Wednesday. Just thought about it in real time. Yes, I'll see you Wednesday, July 8th, because July 7th is something special. But we'll tell you all about that, everybody. We'll see you Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.